What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm going to do something a little different today. I haven't got anything prepared, so I'm just going to rant. I'm just going to talk. I need to talk about in this market. I feel like I need to talk about my mistakes that I've made over my time investing in specifically Pokemon. So while I talk about that, I'm just going to go through the new sets. So Journey Together, Destined Rivals. Have a look at the Pokemon Center, just so you got something on going on in the background. I'll just scroll away and you can review some of the nice artwork coming out and have a look, see if there's anything on the Pokemon Center for you. So yeah, first things first, guys. I just wanted to talk about essentially what mistakes I've made and how you could potentially avoid them, the same sort of ones. So yeah, I just wanted to take it through. So the first sort of point I wanted to talk about is not taking profit. So if you've been in this hobby for a long period of time, you'll um you'll appreciate that it's in the bear markets it's tough, but in the bull markets it's also another difficulty sort of presents itself, and that is not taking profit. So I it only really it only really applies to someone that's been holding for five to 10 years, because otherwise you're sort of a bit short term. Like anything less than a year or two is a bit short term in my opinion. But if you've reached that 5 to 10 year mark and you've still got product that's now 5 to 10 years old, I would be doing a thorough review of what the prices are looking like and what upside that you think could happen in the next year or two. If there's not so much upside, and there is potentially something that you want to buy with that money that could present you with more upside, then that would be a great reason to sell. So a lot of the time is it's about recycling the money, right? It's about taking the profits on the items that have appreciated and putting them into new items. It's not necessarily always the best option to sell, because unless you got something to buy, that money is potentially just going to be sat there stagnant and potentially doing nothing. So it's important to get a balance, and get the balance correct. So, but if you have got product that's 5 to 10 years, just think about taking some profit, just a little bit, and you don't have to go mad. Don't go mad. Don't sell everything. Sell it in little chunks, and make sure that you're building a cash pile so you can buy cheap product when it's available. Because there's been so many instances where I've wanted to buy product and I haven't actually had the cash, because all my money's in assets. So it's sort of like it's interesting, because you do need to build a cash pile, but you also need to have assets. So make sure you try and get that balance right. The next thing I want to talk about is potentially buying too much of one product. So there's always the chance and there's always the risk that Pokemon reprint, right? And they reprint heavy, and it tanks the product. There's been numerous occasions where they've like potentially short printed a set, and they've gone back and absolutely dumped it. Like Vivid Voltage, Shining Fates. I'm sure there's a few Roaring Skies back in it, like way back. So there is on occasion Pokemon does come out swinging with reprints, and it is a risk. And if you go too heavy into one product, and it happens to be that product, you may be burnt for a long period of time. So just make sure you're buying different sets as well. Make sure you're getting a good diversification of sets. It will help you sort of on the risk to the downside, and you can just make sure you're aware of that risk, because otherwise it can catch you off guard. My other opinion on that's a sort of a hot take, is ignoring the singles market. I know a lot of people are heavy into singles. I'm not like heavy into singles. I do buy and sell uh, PSA slabs, and I grade myself. I grade all my cards myself. So, but it's interesting, because you don't want to ignore opportunity, right? So you don't want to ignore the fact that you could be making money in singles and just staying for sealed. You want to be trying to do a bit of both, because yeah, there's greater risk, but there's more return in singles, and it sometimes it does pay off. Sometimes it does pay off, right? Again, it adds to that diversification that I was talking about earlier. Another one is buying into the hype at the wrong time. You could always, especially now, and it's very applicable now, right now, that you are not sort of paying exponentially higher prices for the product that you would ideally pay smaller amounts of money for, right? You have to have what it's worth to you, what you think the product's worth, and then you have to go off, is the market really appreciating what I think it's worth? If it's not, then there's potential, don't buy. And it might be one of those times where you build a cash pile and wait for a dip, or you wait for a bear market, and then you buy all the product that you want. I know a lot of people are hoping for a decent sized crash. I'm just hoping for more product. The fact that you can't get hold of product right now is beyond frustrating. It is beyond frustrating for even collectors, investors like me. So obviously, I feel for people that actually play the game. I feel people that have been in this hobby since day one. So it's a hard time, and we got to like stick together. We can't be biting each other's heads off. It's no one's, like, people playing blame game is no one's fault. Like, in an ideal world, there should be enough for everyone. Pokemon should be printing way more. So the onus is on them to print, and I think they need to just continue to ramp up, buy more facilities, and expand their operations. So that sort of leads me on to not thinking long term enough. If you think there won't be a bear market, and you think there are in the bear market, it will never turn into a bull market. Everyone's just selling Pokemon, and no one wants Pokemon anymore, and everyone's done with it. You got to think, have a longer time horizon on this hobby and this sort of investment opportunity. You want to have at least a 5 to 10 year time horizon. It swings and roundabouts in the short term. It's absolutely anyone's game in the short term. It can go down, up, sideways, left, right. You just don't know. But over the long term, Pokemon tend to not reprint old product, and it tends to get more scarce, which then drives price higher. So essentially, that's sort of the gist of thinking long term. You want to be in that time horizon, because otherwise you could get absolutely decimated being a scalper. You could Pokemon just out of nowhere prints ridiculous, and you just get caught with your pants down. So yeah, make sure you got that long time horizon. Even now, Shining Fates, like it's a great example, because it has been printed to the absolute bottom of the ocean. It is just it's crazy to see something that's not really in demand, but be printed so much that people don't actually even want it anymore. But I still feel that even with all that, it's now going to start turning the corner, because that time has passed, and it's sort of hopefully been opened a bit more, and those Charizards are getting pulled. So yeah, that's sort of me just rambling at you, because I haven't got anything prepared. Sorry, I've been very, very busy. But yeah, the Pokemon Center, guys, has not changed. It's just sold out. But you guys make sure you are on the lookout, because there's some very, 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 very important dates coming up. Journey Together is getting released this month. There's a few prismatic products getting released this month. Let's see if I can show you some prismatic product. Is it gonna work for me? So I believe the bundle is out tomorrow, Friday. So if you guys don't see that, if it is Friday, then I'm sorry. But yeah, I believe it's out Friday, the 7th. So one can only hope that Pokemon Center actually stock their own product on release day. Now, I do think it's a bit annoying, and Pokemon should really, really be putting way more effort and buying way more facilities. They've got the money. They've got the money, man, to be expanding. Obviously, they don't want to expand too quick, but you can clearly see that there is off balance with supply and demand right now. Severe off balance, probably on the ratio of 1 to 5, 1 to 4, especially for a high demand product such as this. And they can even see that with literally all of their stuff selling out on the Pokemon Center. I mean, Shining Face is still there after all this time, but I mean, they've only really got the recent sets still up for grabs, guys. I mean, Temporal Paradox looks like the only 2 booster boxes in stock. So yeah, apart from obviously loose packs, but yeah, listen, just keep an eye out for those dates. If you're sort of in doubt, make sure you Google the dates. Google Journey Together released, Google more prismatic releases. I know the premium collection has been announced and they've got a release date, so put that in your calendar. Make sure you got notifications on. So, but with that, guys, listen, me rambling, don't make the same mistakes I did. It's you'll learn from my mistakes, I promise you, and you should be rewarded long term for doing so. So with that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, a comment if you're feeling in a good mood, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.